Hello wonderful world and welcome back. Today's video, another motorcycle review. Which motorcycle you may ask? Well, it's the Kawasaki KLX 250. Let me begin with a little photo shoot of that very bike. Shall we begin? Alas, this bike I did not ride in tough off-road terrain. We all know the KLX, the CRF, these dual sport motocross type bikes can do all that. I wanted to see how it fared on the road because most people forget that to get to some of these tough off-road terrains, you have to ride these on the road. I wanted to see how it fared in normal commute situations and also on highways in all types of weather, both rain and sun and anything else that came in front of me. So, without further ado, let's talk about the bike by riding the bike, shall we? I think we shall. The KLX 250 is a popular dual sport motorcycle, well known for its off-road capabilities in terms of all types of terrains really. Dirt trails, gravel roads, rocky surfaces, it does it all and it does it all well. But as a commuter, how does it fare? Well, I can tell you now, it's fast.
The monsoon rains and now I'm checking grip on the wet and it's very impressive. Can't fault the bike on that front at all. I mean, this is such heavy rain. In the space of less than a minute, I'm soaked through and through.
So let me just explain. I'm going to keep bringing to the front the 250cc engine that it carries. Now, it's not a beast of a bike carrying 1000cc, so you can't expect it to have the power range that large bikes have. But oh my gosh, this does have thrust. It has a lot of torque in the initial gears, and that gives you a feeling of power, certainly when accelerating. Top speed, I was barely able to get to 120, that's kilometers per hour, but I would really suggest this is for those that want to ride up to about 100. Maybe a little shy of 100 would be better for the engine. It's a beginner-friendly bike. I say that because it's got power, but it hasn't got power that scares you. It's got power that delivers when you need it, and you always feel in control. Something that I wouldn't normally bring in a review is fuel efficiency, but I think because, again, it's a 250cc and the fact that petrol prices are going through the roof, being a fuel-efficient bike, especially on long distances, is something worth praising, and this deserves praise in that department. Now, like I said, I haven't taken this on off-road terrain, but I know I've ridden these bikes in off-road environments and I know they do well. I'm pushing the bike right now to try to get you to that 120. I think I got to 116 and that's where I'm going to pull back a little bit, but it does shift. This shifts, and it shifts as if you feel you're you're rather on a much bigger bike, a 450cc, maybe even 450 plus, but it is only 250. Anyway, I don't want to go away without mentioning the negatives. And the negatives are, I guess the 250, even though it's a positive, it's also a negative because some people would say that's too smaller engine. And it is a modest engine, but I still think on highways you can get up to 110 comfortably. 100 would be best, and that's adequate because most highways don't allow you to go much further than that in top speed. I've mentioned the lack of power because of the 250, and some would say it's underwhelmed, but I actually think that the aggressive nature in its acceleration covers that. And last point which I want to make is its suspension. The stock suspension isn't that great, and maybe one could up it by bringing aftermarket components, but I still think it's adequate. In fact, I think it's more than adequate. So I'm going to leave it at that. Other than that, one thing I would say is the CRF, which is its direct competitor, has a lot more aftermarket products than the KLX. That potentially could be a downside, but all it means is that you have to search harder to get the right parts. You can get them. AliExpress is a great venue, a great forum for you to get those parts that you want to add to the bike to make it individual. Overall, I can't really fault this bike. I've thoroughly enjoyed riding it. The brakes are great. It's a lightweight. It stops when you want it to stop. It goes when you want it to go. Acceleration is fantastic. Top speed, you know, we know it's a 250, so let's not expect too much. But it's still more than adequate. Overall, I can't really fault this bike, and I would give it, out of 100, probably a 90, which for me is pretty high. Anyway, folks, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, those that are looking to buy the KLX, go buy it. You will not be disappointed. And the CRF 250, which is its competitor, is also a good bike, but there are small differences between the two. This, I feel, is more aggressive, whereas the CRF is maybe a little more refined. Choice is yours. Anyway, guys, stay safe on two wheels. God bless you all. Take care. And until next time, ride safely. God bless.